It is probably like 10 o'clock. I'm supposed to be in the bed by 9:30. So I feel like I was overthinking a bit. So I'm gonna light my incense. I think this one is lavender, because I got a few different ones. What I wanted to say is I am too precious to be played with. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but I'm not gonna go into super detail. Maybe I'll do a story time sometime later. I realized that because my blacklist is so long, y'all. Like, if I could actually show y'all, and it's a flex in the sense of, I don't know where my other phone is right now, but I say that because maybe this past week or so, like 98% of the time, y'all, I'm very self-affirming. I'm very I'm very self-affirming. I'm very, like, self-validating. Really quickly, I was talking to my therapist, whatever, and she was asking me about validation, and I have a great group of people around me. My mom validates me, my friends validate me. I have to get into the habit of allowing them to celebrate wins. I have to celebrate more of my wins too, more, or whatever. So with that being said, I realized that I have to self-validate, and not in a I'm so great, not in an egotistical or like that kind of way, because that kind of validation does not feel good, but validating myself, because like I said, I'm too precious to be played with. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying because I realize I block people, y'all. Well, first of all, I don't think blocking people should ever be used as a manipulation tactic or nothing like that. So 9 times out of 10, really 10 times out of 10, like, the intent when you are blocked is you are blocked forever. In order to get off the block list, it would have been like I had to do some self-reflecting and realize I was handling the situation wrong, which is very rare these days. My block list is long, my faith is high, I am tapped in, I want God's very best. I'm only accepting God's very best. That is my aim, that is the goal, and that is in every situation. So if I feel like I am not valued, not if I don't feel, if I'm not valued, if what I give is not reciprocated, by all means, fine. But I'm not going to self-harm or abuse myself, gaslight myself. And a lot of times people got one, depending on what it is, one chance with me. Two, if I'm building something with you and you just kind of don't know me yet. But once I feel like you're playing with me, you're treating me very non-preciously, very regular, and that is your prerogative. But I know who I am, I know what I give out, I know what I'm capable of. And so when I start to feel constricted in the way that I show up, or feeling like people want me to play games and all that stuff, it doesn't do well for me. And instead of getting angry and stuff, and I'll grieve things in a certain way, but instead of doing all the extra stuff, I just block it most of the time, because I don't even want you seeing me. Like, some people will not block because they want the person to see what they're doing. If you want to come see me, you're going to have to jump through hoops to do it. But I don't want to see you. I'm taking away access. I'm taking away access. I feel like at some point you have to protect yourself by revoking access or denying access. And that's what I did with a particular person, where I'm very, like, quick these days, a lot of times, where I'm strict, or some people confuse me being transparent and stuff early on, because what God's given me can't be taken away. Like, you cannot take advantage of me in that in specific ways. So you're gonna value me, you're going to respect me, you're going to value me. I know the type of people I want around, and if you don't fit that, God bless you, that's fine. I don't know, like, that's completely fine, but you're not gonna have access to me. I'm way too precious to be played with, and I know that. And I know that in the way where I know what I've worked on, I know how I've grown. I'm not being arrogant. I'm not being arrogant, because I always have room for improvement somewhere. We all do. But I know the work I've put in to work on being the type of person I am, or in certain areas being understanding, patient, having boundaries, non-negotiable, this is not, like, I know all the work I put in. I refuse to let anybody take that. So I feel like somebody else needs to hear that, and maybe you need to say it to yourself, like, you are too precious to be played with. And like I said, not in the arrogant way, not in the, oh, you're a god, you think people supposed to bow down at your feet. I don't think that. I do expect what I give out and what I work to do, which is kindness and respect and decency, to have conversations and have understanding and things like that. And again, I'm not entitled to that. The things that I deserve or I'm entitled to is between me and God. That's it. But as far as human beings, I'm not entitled to your time. I'm not entitled to your understanding. I'm not entitled to princess treatment from you. However, I know what I want from the people I'm around. I know what I need. And anything that I ask for, there's going to be some kind of trade-off to where what you're giving me, you'll be equally satisfied by whatever it is that you need from me, or what I ask for, I am myself. I am not requiring things of people that I'm not doing myself. That makes sense. Meaning, I'm not going to ask you to be kind, and I'm not kind. I'm not going to ask of you to be sober-minded, gentle, patient, understanding, and I'm not that way. I'm not asking of anything that I wouldn't require of myself. And so there's a true peace that comes with honoring yourself, not betraying yourself, and denying and revoking access from people. There's a real peace that comes with that, or at least for me. Because I know what's for me is for me. I know that I don't have to beg for anything. I'm not saying I'm against working things out, compromise, like that kind of thing. But when confusion enters the chat, I exit the chat. I end the chat. Chat over. Like, we're done. So again, I wanted to come and say it because even though I know I made the right decision, stuff for me, sometimes we make our decisions and then we overthink a little bit. And this happened a couple days ago. I stand on that. You have to be able to make decisions in the present that is going to benefit your future stuff, that a future you can be proud of. And I know sometimes that is hard. Sometimes it's hard to accept somebody don't rock with you how you rock with them. Sometimes it's hard to accept that like certain things are not reciprocated. But instead of forcing it, accept it and honor yourself. Teach you that you are someone worth caring for and loving and respecting by doing it for yourself. God didn't promise ease always. God promised worth it. God promised peace. At least that is my journey. And so again, I'm too precious to be played with. And by all means, nobody has to agree with me. I don't argue with people. You don't have to agree with me, but I can show you better than I can tell you. I'm not going to debate with you that I'm worthy of consistency. I'm not going to debate with you that I'm worthy of respect. I'm not going to debate with you that I'm worthy of time. Become somebody that it is a privilege to get to know. I feel like you are valuable and special in the sight of God, the Lord. That's what you are. But to other human beings, you are not inherently just special. Be someone worth getting to know. Be someone that it's a privilege to know. Be someone that is a privilege to be around. Be someone that is a privilege to call on. Be someone that is a privilege just to have access to by way of who you are, what you give out, your heart, your kindness, like something. Become worthy of someone that it is a privilege to get to know. Because even like this, y'all don't know me. Stories I tell are of the past. There are things, intimate things y'all just don't know. It is a privilege to get to know me in an intimate way, in a personal way, in a way where you are taken care of. But that standard is set even for my friends. I think it's a privilege to know my friends. It's a privilege to have access to the people I have access to. So the standards are high and the standards are met. Okay, on both sides. So be someone worthy of getting to know, so that when people come in and try to play with you, we're human. You might have liked a person, you might have really wanted to get to know a person, you might be friends with a person, and whatever. And instead of doing the easy thing, the comfortable thing, do what is best for you in terms of taking care of yourself. Being able to say, okay, I might have to grieve, I may have to let this go. But would I rather do that and show myself, because your body knows, show myself I'm worthy, I matter, my life matters, I take myself seriously. It's a privilege to know me. I'm too precious to be played with. Is that like you willing to go through some discomfort, but you'll have peace? I promise. I feel like with God, you always have peace, even if you have some discomfort. Or you can argue with somebody and try to tell them what your value is. You can argue with somebody, you can try to beg somebody to love you, but for what? Because you're validated. You become that person, then you get around other people that are that way, and I promise you, anybody that don't align with that will not fit. It'll feel so unnatural. And that's what happened to me a couple days ago. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. Like, this don't work. This not gonna, I can't. I'm not willing to betray myself. It's that simple. So that's it. I just wanted to say that word. It is late. It's late. I have to go. I have to get up at, hopefully I get up at like 5:30 in the morning to get my day started. So I'm gonna light my incense, my lavender incense, and we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're gonna do this life thing again. Please, 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 it's worth the work. Take care of yourselves. Go seek out God at the highest level.